The following video was pre-recorded on twitch.tv/codedman9000. More information on the stream times at the end of the video. Previously on Stone to Space.
For the start of Chapter 3, we went to Kerbal Space Program to learn how to make rockets so that we could explore the stars for a new home. We began playing on career mode while not knowing anything about what we were doing. After doing some research off-stream, we then moved to the science mode with newfound knowledge. We went to both moons, created communication networks, planes, science missions, a space station, and then ended the game by traveling all the way to Duna in the Antari ship.
After arriving at Duna, our ship the Antares fell apart, causing us to land on Duna and mine its resources so that we could fix the Antari ship. We unlocked various buildings, and also different types of science. After fixing everything but scanners on the ship, we then left the planet behind us as we continued to travel in space. Hello and welcome to a Twitch Plays Along series called Stone to Space. Today we're in Chapter 3, Space Travel. Today we are playing Oxygen Not Included. So what we did in the last stream is we did a little bit of cleanup. We started boxing in all of the volcanoes. We came in here and spent, I want to say, a majority, if not all of the stream, just getting this to be fixed. So the stuff inside here was made out of cobalt. And this ran out of power in the transformer. It stopped powering this, which meant that the water kept getting heated up by the sulfur geyser coming in. And that meant things broke. The pipes burst and water came in here, more than what was already in here. And all of it became steam. And we spent a long time trying to get this to cool down while also having the sulfur geyser supplying even more heat into the water. So it's been a back and forth struggle. Right now it's been dormant for about 20 to 30 cycles. I think it was a total of 46 cycles that it said it was going to be dormant for. And every 10 cycles, it seems like the water goes down 20 degrees or 10 degrees. I forget what it was. I think it drops faster than the cycles go down. So it would have been 20 degrees per 10 cycles or 2 degrees every cycle. And I'm waiting to turn this conveyor loader on until we have the water cool down, because right now the radiant pipes are cooling down the sulfur at the same time, slowly. But if we put the sulfur on the conveyor belt and it's going around, it's never going to cool down as quickly as it would if the water was pre-cooled first. So, getting this stuff out of here would help the water cool down faster. Like, we could just tell this to send out the hot sulfur. We shouldn't have run out of sulfur, because I'm pretty sure there was a lot stockpiled here. Yeah, there's 14.7 tons there. And there should be about the same amount over here. There's actually less. So if anything, these two sweeters might run out of food for a little bit. We also have to go through all of our crops and make sure that we have a way of getting plant husk out of here, just for aesthetic looks. We did somewhat fix petroleum. We had a gold pump in here, or no, we had a steel pump in here. But since these weren't properly automated, we were sending hot petroleum in here and then just sending it directly out instead of filtering it to cool it down first. So hot petroleum went in here and overheated the pump. The pump broke. We didn't have power for a while. We should be somewhat okay on power. I mean, right now this says we have nothing in it, so we might not be okay on power. But another thing that we did is that we came over here and we tamed this volcano, so we're getting a little bit extra steam power from it. We're also still able to get the igneous rock from it. And we are doing this entire thing again over here at this one. We started setting it up, but we didn't start building it. Hi, mister. What you doing? Yeah, the price of being on my lap is one kiss to the forehead. You can't say no to that. But force it. So, we're gonna finish doing this one. We're then also going to do one up here on this one. And then I have to... Oh, we also did this. We replaced this in. When we were trying to do a full asteroid sauna, we got rid of this thinking that it would help us introduce heat. It did introduce heat, but we have ethanol running through most of this area, which was flashing in the pipes because ethanol has a very low temperature change. It's actually, I think, just barely under its degree. It's 76.9. I think it's 78 is when it flashes into ethanol gas. That's the good pump. I want ethanol. Yeah, it's 78. It's just barely below. It's enough that it won't flash, but Ani is a little finicky when it comes to state changes. So it never changes directly at 78.4. It could be like 77 or 79. Either way. What would be the point of freezing ethanol? Is there a reason to have ethanol base? That's not it. We use it for something? I mean, this makes ethanol from sucrose. Oh, that's true. We could ranch Sweetles to get the sucrose and feed spigot seals to get ethanol. For those that don't know, this is part of the frozen DLC pack, which we will be doing in our next colony. And I think the plum squash plant is the Dino DLC, but I'm not sure about that. So there's really no reason to freeze ethanol other than to maybe move it around easier as a solid. I don't see a thing that requires frozen ethanol unless... No, this is wood to turn into ethanol. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's a reason to have frozen ethanol. But anyway, we are... we came over here to put in temperature shift plates because we forgot to do that. I can, at this point, block that off because we finished that and I didn't realize. We have to do this setup over here at the polluted oxygen because this is also a hot geyser, 500 degrees. Right now this is overpressurized, so it's not really that hot, but it will be when we turn it back on. And I was going to say I was doing one more thing. We need to actually tame our metal volcanoes. Right now, the cobalt and the iron are just venting into whatever they're in. Cobalt's in gas, the iron volcano is in a liquid. We have a gold volcano up here that we haven't even opened, so we're going to open that and get some gold occasionally. For the most part, I am going to just leave it open so dupes can walk in and get it. We may close it off later after making a debris chiller, because I'm thinking this place right here is a decent spot to put a debris chiller, and we can even chill the gases that are going through here. I don't think it would hurt to chill whatever gases go through it, because it's chlorine, which is already cold. Hydrogen, which is going in, I think it's relatively cold. No, it's actually hot. So we would already be stealing the heat from it, and then we'd be cooling it down further, which I don't think we need to do. We might actually, if we do a debris chiller right here, I think I'll move the hydrogen over and just bring it in sideways rather than vertically. But the chlorine, I think, comes in at like 50 something. Yeah, 54. I think it's actually hotter. Like 60. Yeah, it is 60. So somehow it cooled down on the way over here. I guess it's because there's stuff in here that was cold. After we do all that, or during us doing all that, we need to get puffs ranched, because that is the last thing to be built before we're done doing all of the pre-planned stuff. We do have some stuff over here that I could do from the pre-planned area, and that is taming an aluminum volcano somewhere over here on the left. I don't think it's this. From what I remember, these two should be different types of water. We could have moved the volcano over here. I don't think it is. I think it's that. That neutronium? No, that's a plant. Let's see if this is the aluminum volcano. I don't think it is. It's polluted oxygen. And this should be water. Cool slush. And this right here should be polluted water. No, that's a regular water. So that's the hot water there. So somewhere over here in the dark is an aluminum volcano. And we will be able to get aluminum for something else. We could also come down here. This should be natural gas. And there's another hidden carbon dioxide geyser. Like it's in debris like this is. There should be 2 carbon dioxide geysers. And as far as I know, I don't remember a geyser being up here, but there could be something up here. But anyway, the only thing we would need from over here is the aluminum volcano, which we would send into a debris chiller if we make it. The aluminum, I forget what I use it for, but I know it's in the molecular forge. So anyway, we're going to get into the game now. And at least finish this up. I'm going to actually prioritize them doing the hydrogen thing so that it's done before it wakes up in 5 cycles. Hopefully. And eventually we are going to come in here and open this up. I have this prepared to be vacuumed out as soon as we do this. And I'll even turn it on for both directions. Is there oil throughout the base? There's a little bit there. And you have the pitcher pump. And it looks like they may have picked up that bottle because we're being sent here only. That must have been someone moving around faster than I think. Not sure. What are you guys doing back there? Are you guys on the place that Mama gets fed? Yeah, you are. Hey, you're not supposed to be up there. Get down. Yeah, I know you were trying to get up there too. Don't come over here like you weren't in trouble as well. I feed Mama on my TV stand. I just hit my knee. Anyway, they are putting oil in here. We do have enough that we could put in. Actually, we can. We can put it in now while they're putting oil in. I didn't realize that this was 1 tile higher than usual. Let's put in the pump. I also had set up a spot for a pump over here, but we would have to get rid of ladders that we actually need. So I think I'll just put the pump here and we will continue building stuff over. We are going to have to put in temperature shift plates. And they also can't get up here because of everything is placed. I want to get this vacuumed. Oh, there's gases up here. I think we're going to have to put in a temporary ladder going up here. Cancel that. And deconstruct these 2 tiles so that we can get the gases out of that area. Now, it is going to have a trouble getting the gases over, so let's stop that one. Stop. You know, let's just stop all 4. We'll do everything else because we need to block this in while we're pumping it out anyway. I think that's it for this. Get the gases out. It is going to be all hot stuff coming out here right next to the ethanol, so we're probably going to burst pipes. I could, which I think I will do, move the gases to being expelled over here. Can I even build there? I think I can, I just need a ladder. I think that's like 5 or 6 tiles too high. Or a couple tiles too high. Excuse me. It is. So if we put 1 ladder there, they can reach everything there. Okay. We are also occasionally using Cobalt to upgrade the lines. As far as I know, everything in the middle that is not new, including everything on the left, has been upgraded to Cobalt ore, or Cobalt wire, and out of the ore. That counts as metal, so yes, that's done. This is done. Even the petroleum generator is done. What about this? This is new. This is not done. We should do this first. If I go around this, I don't know if we have enough to do both lines here, but we might. And this will just help it not break while we're trying to build other stuff. If we do both, do we have enough? We do! We also were thinking about opening this up and putting in the plate here. That was when we were thinking about opening this up to the atmosphere. We are not going to do that now, so let's recover that. We're not going to worry about the stuff that's in there unless we have to go back in there in the future. And this is overheating because of this not being able to run. That's another thing we have to try and fix. Building melted. That is okay. The lava shouldn't be able to do anything. Although this, I do want to relocate here. Oh, it's all just increasing in temperature. Alright, never mind then. It's going to overheat either way. I am going to cancel all of this for right now. Oh, that does mean that it's going to be superheated when it goes in. It should be fine. I don't think obsidian overheats at the temperature of the volcano. It doesn't. So I'm going to let all this stuff break apart. You know what? Let's just cancel everything they're trying to build that we don't need. We might get some cobalt out of the wires here. This should be made of steel. It is. For some reason, it doesn't have power. Why do you not have power? You're connected in. Oh, it's not that it doesn't have power. It doesn't have this. Okay, this is good. That's good. We can stop these. Click on both. There we go. This is now a concealed room. Let's deconstruct this. We don't need that anymore. We are going to have to supply water in here. We should be okay. So that's going to fill up that pipe unless they build this soon. Where did we get gold in here? I mean, how? Oh, probably the liquid pump there. So we have gold. 400? Is it 400 to do a liquid vent? Oh yeah, look at that. It is. I was expecting that. Okay. Once we get the gases out of here, we can build everything and it won't overheat stuff. I am worried about this gas heating up the oil enough for it to change state. Because that temperature is going to creep over here until the point that this turns into debris, in which case it will slowly increase. Oh good, we're using the cobalt somewhere else. That's good. Another thing we could do to speed this getting vacuumed up faster is adding in another pump over here. And this would have to be ready to start being pumped out before we place in the steel thing, because over here it is thousands of degrees. So I will wait until they build all this and also have this ready, or this vacuumed out. Let's go into here, put that on gas and this on buildings, so I don't accidentally deconstruct things I don't want to deconstruct. Did they do the hydrogen? They did. So we can come in here and mop that up. We can mop this up. And I saw oil somewhere over here in the middle that I don't want. Right here. Actually, no, that is in case we have to go back in here to fix stuff. So we'll leave that there. The rest of the stuff they can do. So, how close are we to getting this vacuumed out? Should be done now, pretty much. There we go. That's done. We can deconstruct this. Deconstruct all of this as well. all of this. Now they won't be exchanging heat, except for maybe in this insulated tile, very slowly. If we separated it 2 tiles away, there'd be, I think, no way for it to transfer heat, because of how slowly insulated tiles would transfer between themselves. It would be as though nothing is happening. Could be wrong on it. We are getting to the point where this heavy watt wire might state change and melt. We place that in now. We should be able to build that and vacuum out quicker than it overheats. Even if it does overheat, we should be able to fix it. Oh wow, it's overheating immediately. Was not expecting that, but that does make sense. We should be vacuuming this out faster now. I could go even further overboard and put in 2 more and then a secondary pipe. There's not that much gas. It's just the temperature is an issue in here. So if I could get it to a point where it doesn't transfer heat to this, we would do better. It's already down to about 2.5 kilograms of gas. This won't take very long. Alright, I am going to let that run while we go and look at other things. They did do all of the cobalt over here. What is going on here? Too hot. Where did all of your water go? Why is it all why is it all steam down here? That shouldn't be steam. Why did this flash? That should have been getting cooled down from this. Maybe it didn't get turned on. Maybe we don't have enough power to run it. We do sometimes have 5 kilowatts. I think I need to continuously supply water to this for a while. So let's put a bottle drainer here, a bridge below it, and just connect it in with, we'll do insulated pipes. Make sure that doesn't flash as it's being supplied. Yeah, those should have been able to run continuously. Now over here is petroleum. That might move when we get in here. Which would be an issue. I want this to be on a 6, so they come over here and build this. Oh, it's the Cobalt Volcano. I see what's going on. Temporary fix. I didn't realize it was injecting that much heat into the surrounding area. Also down here, it's probably heated up the tiles, right? Yeah, natural tiles don't cool down as quickly as gas would. So that's probably radiating heat out of here. Alright, this, water, enable, 9. I don't know what they just dropped, but it looked important. We were here. How's this doing? Milligrams? Not bad, not bad. This is almost at milligrams. There's just more up here in this little 1-tile corridor. And it is cooling down as the gas gets sucked out. I think. I don't know, some spots are hotter than the others. But if that's almost at micrograms, that's going to be done, I think, 2 cycles from now. Let's do this, reject all, because there's nothing in there I wanted. We're going to be moving those Sweetles over time when they give an egg and we need an egg. They'll be moved over. I could tell the sweeper to pick up eggs. But then that would also get rid of the puffs in this room and put them in here. Let's do critter eggs that we want taken out. Yes, 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 no, yes, no, actually no, because that's only one tile tall. I think there are 2 tiles. Royal, sage, fine, smooth, stone, sunsweetle. Okay, so when they give an egg, it should get picked up immediately and be sent into this. Actually, hold on a second. That would only supply it back into itself. I should not do that. Unless I'm going to change how it gets supplied down here. We might do that so that it goes through the eggs filter. How are they doing over here? Down to micrograms. 200. We're almost in microgram territory up here, so this is going to get vacuumed first, and it's going to vacuum over to there. That makes sense. Over here, we did put in the insulated tile, so we should not be able to get cobalt from that, but also not be injecting as much heat into this area, which should allow this to cool down faster than it was. This is currently running, so that means we are supplying water to it at a decent pace. I am going to leave the bottle there pumping water, but I'm going to get rid of this bridge. Alright, let's leave it like that for right now. We have some igneous rock that we could spare. Can I finish this ladder run? I can. I could probably do another one. Can I do all 3? I can. We had enough to do all 3 of those. That'll just clean up this area. I am going to deconstruct. Those are left over from something else I don't remember. And dig all of this out. That can be done from both directions. We could also deconstruct this line. Let's do that. We'll get a bunch of buildable material back from this. It's going to also require us to do these. I'm going to leave this system here because we're currently using it. And another thing we should have done is... I was going to make a square out of this. Because right now it's only being supplied to the right side from right here. So if we do a redundant system, if in the future something bad happens, we would be fine. And this was just to save the sulfur from overheating as it was getting to our base. And Regus is going to be deconstructing until he falls. We put that there, put this here, and that there. The rest is going to stay the way that it is, because that's how I wanted it at the beginning anyway. Put those in. Okay. How is this doing? Down here is a vacuum, so it's just going off of this spot, which is relatively close. As long as we don't have this turn off, we should be fine. Okay, it is now becoming a vacuum. I'm going to get rid of everything. Rid of all of that. And this and that. Now, because this is technically a vacuum, even though there's still gases in there, I first want to do this. We could technically let this magma come down here, but I think it would overheat the stuff and melt it. So we're not going to do that. We are just going to copy this top part yet again and try to get them to build a little bit more of it. If I go over here, we're going to go like this and just go boop. And replace it down over here. Oh, they're not going to be able to do the aqua tuner. We're going to cancel that being built. It's still going to prevent them from doing this, but shouldn't have any temperature changes until they do the temperature shift plates. If I look at the bottom portion, I'm going to sneeze. Maybe. The only thing that was different was the way that we were getting into it, so that's why I didn't copy the bottom, but it looks like the only things that are missing from it is the temperature shift plates. So we could just place them in ourselves. And then we will have to put them in this area once we get the magma out of there. They may flash the temperature shift plates into turning into magma later. Not sure if it will do that. Can we steal water? We can steal water, so we're going to do that. We're not going to pump it in. I mean, technically it is being pumped in, but you guys should know what I mean. Just put a vent there and drag it over. Now, why is ethanol backing up? Is it not being cooled? It is not being cooled. The power is an issue over here. We should be getting water from polluted water. Looks like we may be in a power deficit again. Why is petroleum not moving around? Is petroleum also waiting on power? It kind of is. It kind of is. But we should be getting stuff from this. Now, I am going to set that on a 6 to get it done faster. And I need to do math on how many tiles this room is going to be so that I can make sure that there is 100 kilograms of steam when this flashes into steam. So the first thing I'm going to do is go like this. That is a total of, I think, 60 tiles. Yep, that's 60. Oh, I didn't mean to pause. We need to subtract some amount from that 60, so that's going to be 4 metal tiles. So that brings us down to 56. We're ignoring this insulated tile, because that's not going to be there. Actually, we need to take away 5 tiles because of this tile that I have the dig command on top of. And then, oh, Regus is incapacitated. Regus needs to be here. Regus, they are on a 7. I need Regus to get out of there quickly. They are in an atmo suit, but I don't think that's going to help them. Marie, I need to cancel anything in the magma. Can somebody get Regus now? Emergency. Good job. Is that Jackie? Yeah, Jackie, be good. Look at that. Good job, Jackie. Now, I am going to follow them to make sure that Regus doesn't get dropped. And I also need to make sure that if Regus does die, which they're not. Now, they have an Atmos suit. We're going to turn that back down to 7. Since Regus did make it out, I'm going to make sure that he gets healed a little bit, but then we're going to take him off so that I can make him take off the Atmos suit. Which he has to do after he eats. There he goes. Sit there just for 1 tick of health to come in. I think that was that 1 tick. I'm going to switch this to Marie. So I'm going to pause first, move Regus to here. Then switch this back to Regus. Therefore, he took off his Atmos suit, and now he's still the one being healed. We're going to wait to do any of this. Most of it is obsidian. Oh, that's power coming in. I forgot. You're going to be canceled. There. Alright, back to doing the math. I'm a little confused on why the ladders are where they are. The ladder should be right next to that wall. Gotcha. So this ladder is temporary. We should have a ladder here, and this should be moved over one. Right to the other one. But doesn't really matter. Just for aesthetic's sake, I am going to move this over. Along with the power that I'm going to have to move over. So that'll go there. We'll deconstruct the power. I don't think that was deconstruct. Deconstruct the power there. Deconstruct the ladder. And now I get to do the math again. So there is going to be one tile to take out of this portion. That is an additional 45, so that's another 44 tiles. We already have some steam. What's 55 plus 45? Or was it 44? I already forgot. It was 44. Oh, that's 99. Alright, we do already have steam being built up, but how wide is this? It is 9 tiles. We need a full tile underneath and then 100 kilograms above it in order for us to have enough water. Now, this is completely empty. What was that being supplied by? Oh, up here. Alright, that makes sense. So pretty much the moment we see that there's 2 tiles of water, we can stop supplying water. Is there anything else we can look at while we're doing that? Is this still being cooled down enough? I think it's trying to keep up, but if this runs out of power like it is right now, this is going to overheat. We could start building in the Cobalt Volcano. We probably should. If I take a look at how I usually do it, we'll copy how I usually do it. Probably oil volcanoes would have the default picture of how I do my volcanoes. Now I am going to change it a little bit. I usually just copy and paste the volcano tamer. But we don't need to do that. I do need to count out 2 steam turbines in here. And the tile goes right above the volcano, so there'd be steam turbine here and here. We'd skip this tile, and then this would be the door for the liquid lock. So it would be not like that. It would be like, oh, I did that tile in the wrong spot again. We would cancel that. Double there. Hold on a second. 1 tile up. I actually was placing that in the right spot. Cancel, 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 cancel. I actually wanted tiles in here. Keep gases from getting stuck there. Then this would have a power thing there to cut off this. Which means that it actually can't be right there with that. Cancel that. Power supplied into the aqua tuner. I don't usually auto sweep it out, but we could auto sweep the stuff out of here. And then the rest of this is just insulated tiles. Lock this whole thing in. So I will let them first set up the liquid lock, and then we'll come back in and do the rest. They should be able to build everything here, I think. And just for looks, I'm going to put that there so it doesn't look like it's not connected. Alright, another thing. We are still doing this. They're doing pretty good. Is there any other small ladder runs we could do? I was still trying to get this done. I actually want to try and replace some of these pipes with igneous rock, which is going to take a lot more than what we have, so let's not do that until we are done everything. Now, I had a feeling that was going to immediately flash. What is going on with water over here? Oh, it's just stopping when we, when we don't have a dupe running on the generator. How much gas is already in here? Only milligrams, so there's not much. This is almost at 900 kilograms. That should get done relatively soon. These are going to keep flashing. How is there water in here? Oh, because this is part of the liquid coolant. Okay, that's going to stay there until we build everything else here. The steel in here shouldn't overheat, I hope. We should probably start building the top portion. Oh, joy seeds. I always take them, even if I don't need them, like I currently don't need them. Let's just copy this and bring that all the way over here. Now it is going to try and place things where I don't want it. So let me just figure out how I want this. So this goes downwards, and this goes down. But I want to connect it in using the insulated type. So I disconnect, 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 disconnect. That is all correct. The power line is not. We're going to cancel those and power it from this direction, which we can actually place in now while it is waiting to be built. It won't do anything. It's changing the wire. We are going to have to come in here and change these wires at some point in the future. We probably could do the wires that are currently built with the amount of cobalt, but it's such a small line, we might as well wait. Okay, most definitely do not have enough aluminum for that, plus the amount of aluminum that we're probably going to be replacing in the other turbine area, the other volcano. Until we get this fully closed in and get rid of that debris, this is going to keep overheating and turning into steam. And I am focused on getting this tamed before we do other stuff, like fixing that oil. This is going to be a big thing. I don't know how I'm going to tame that yet. But luckily, our ethanol is not breaking in the pipes due to overheating. Now, we are using a majority of our power to run the water going into the steam room, which means that we're not getting water into our oxygen. How much backed up is this? This has some time before we need to add water to it. We might be able to get this done. It is actually done now. I'm just waiting for this to get up to 100 before I open it. Alright, that should be good enough. Let's cut that off there. That should mean that that pump stops running. So when somebody else comes in here and starts running on this, we should get the polluted water back up and running. Okay, now comes the point where we break the insulated tiles and hope that nothing else gets destroyed in the process when everything flashes to steam. This is going to drain the top layer, which is what we want to happen, but I don't know what's going to happen afterwards. So if I just break that, it shouldn't continue going. It might go to here and then drip in. Alright, so there goes all of the steam. Or I should say all of the water. That will, over time, cool down the magma. I'm going to now place in the insulated... Not the insulated tiles. The ship plates that we are going to need. I'll wait to do these until later because we can't do them now. Put that in. Put this metal tile back in so we can make the aquatuner and start getting that set up and ready. We can take off of here to place water in. This already is not superheated. So let's deconstruct that and place in ladders. when we can. Oh, Mima, don't stand in there. Mima! Mima, you need to leave. Now Will is getting hurt. But we should be getting this changing. That's too much debris right there. No, the steam is going to get too hot. And I want them to dig all of that out. But hopefully at this point nobody is getting scolded from the debris. Because it is only debris now. Alright, we should be able to place these back in. Which doesn't go there. Here, 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 here. And cancel this. Yes. Alright. Now we have that all taken care of. We can actually use all that stuff. And they will slowly build this stuff in over time. Now this is going to get overheated and then stop working. Just somewhat okay. The amount of steam in this area is a little bit below what I wanted it to be at. But it's not that far off from what I wanted it. Damaged, overheated. That we already knew about. We're going to do that soon. I'm debating on copying and pasting this up here for this one before doing that oil. Oh yeah, we're doing overheating issues over here. Over here, Marie is getting hurt, I think. I don't know why she's just sitting there. Why are you not... Oh, you can't go anywhere. You are trapped. So after you get untrapped, we're going to build that ladder over. And I kind of need them to build that tile before we put... No, we can actually put in oil. I thought it was a higher temperature than it is. Did I not bring it over to the second one? I guess I didn't. Welcome back from the ads, everyone. We should probably do a prediction now, right? Yeah. We'll do a prediction near the start of every hour until we raid out. That's how we'll do it for 4-hour-long streams. So, is the pod in the top left corner of the screen going to be tops, bottoms, buildings, decorations, or wallpaper? We had a few buildings last stream. We didn't actually get clothing at all, as far as I remember. So I don't know if that means we're going to get clothing this time. But anyway, you have 10 minutes to decide, starting now. Okay, we should probably also tame this so that we can use it for our puffs. We'll worry about it later, I guess. We are almost done building everything in here, so that's good. We can deconstruct those ladders. I think we're about to get more igneous rock. I'm going to sweep that. Sweep that. That should be all of the obsidian. It's not. Any in here? No, no, no. Okay. Those are the 4 stuff that's in there. Alright, that's not connected into power. And it can be now. It is going to get overheat damage until we're able to cool the steam room down. I was about to say, didn't Gino already get Relor? But then I realized the last time I saw a Pokemon that looked like that, it was the evolution. It wasn't Relor. It's the thing that turns into Relor. Alright, what else can we do while we're waiting for this to be done? Make sure that this is getting oil. We are getting a little... Oh, the reason why this isn't getting a liquid lock is because we don't have one of these placed in yet. And outside is going to be cobalt. If I place that in, that will hit this tile as it's dripping and then go in both of these tiles. Right now there's nothing right next to the drain portion, so it's not making it go into this tile before it fills in this one. It's also oil, so it'll only go up to 800. We weren't actually waiting a long time. That is condensed steam. Why is steam going in here? Because there's not enough chlorine to block it out? Probably. Anyway, let's add power to this. Now I am going to use cobalt because we have enough for that. I should also do this portion. I'm going to bring that straight down. No need to put a secondary run that close. And is there anything small that I could upgrade? Alright, we were going to do this as well. And that is sulfur, which actually isn't being powered right now. So it's okay to deconstruct this anyway, because we're running on the treadmill to power that. They break that tile, they place in the new power. Over here is ready for the next thing of oil, once it gets dropped off at some point. Hopefully soon. Let's put in the drain thing here. We're gonna need to bring a pump in here as well. And that also requires power. Where do we want the aqua tuner? So this is going to be the way in, so the aqua tuner can only be here at the furthest point. We'll go like that, bring this in and up. That would mean that to do this quicker, cancel that. Now I am going to have to make a steel pipe pump there. And we have petroleum here because the stuff is too hot. That's fine. We are gonna mop that up since it's over on this side now. And then just to make this a vacuum, we could take away this pump. Or we could wait. It's not going to take us too long to fill this in. Down here is almost a liquid lock. This is a liquid lock. I'm going to make sure that this goes to about 150. So that when we open this, we can get in here. Or it can be 100 tiles. 100 kilograms per tile, I mean. This one still needs quite a bit. I think this is the last bottle before it goes over here. Which I may have an issue trying to push that chlorine out. There it goes. So we need, I think, one more bottle here. This one's probably done. Yeah, it is. We can cancel that and deconstruct it. This one, I think, needs one, maybe two bottles. We can also get in here and open this up. I don't want to deconstruct this until that tile is built. If we look at this, I just want it to go to 100. That's good enough. Good job, Slicky, coming in to save the day. Deconstructing everything in his path. We have maybe a minute and a half, 2 minutes left of the prediction if you guys want to put points in. So far, it seems only one person is in, which is usual for this time of day. Okay, now this is going to mean that they're transferring gas and temperature between these two, but we'll have 2 pumps bringing out the gases, so it shouldn't matter too much. And if we can get everything but the steam out of here, that would be preferred. We don't need to get this completely a vacuum in this portion. We do need a vacuum in here. Doesn't have to be a vacuum over here, though. We're just waiting for the power to get built in there. We also need the roof on here. Because I am now going to dig that out. Oh, they didn't put in the power all the way. So that doesn't look like the right thing, but it is. This needs to be steel. We can deconstruct this now. Marie, what happened? Why are you waiting? That is still above 100 like I expected it to be. Let's check first the regular pod. We'll take the mallow seeds. And you, Marie, need to be on here. We're waiting long enough. This is still waiting on aluminum. But at least we have igneous rock we can use. Alright, what's going on in here? Oh, now that we place this in, it is a vacuum in this small area. So I'm going to deconstruct that tile just so we can get this pumped out a little bit quicker. And now the only thing that's happening here is that we're trying to get 3 gases out through this pump compared to 1 pump over here. Along with the small amount of gas that's in here. But if we can get everything down to just being polluted oxygen here, we pump gases out quicker. What is going to happen when we add water? Because this is probably hot enough for it to flash the water immediately. So we might be just waiting for the water to, the steam to build up, not the water. And it looks like there's more chlorine than polluted oxygen. No, there isn't. There's more polluted oxygen. Alright, we're about to get rid of most of the chlorine, if not all of it. If this works its way over, we'll vacuum that out. There's only a couple micrograms of it. Or I should say a couple milligrams, because it's 2,000, I think. Or it was. Now it's only 300. So anyway, we'll let that keep going. There's ethanol in here we should probably get rid of it at some point. This, I'm going to open up just so we can get that liquid away from the oil, which is probably hot. Yeah, it's hot enough to keep that ethanol as a gas. Do we need to keep this pipe running? I don't think we do. We're gonna cut that off so we stop using the power. I know it's filtering stuff, but I don't think we need it on. Let's also deconstruct this mess over here. I'm gonna leave that there because we need something to get up. What else? Is this water or ethanol? That's water, that's fine. Still waiting on aluminum. Aluminum just doesn't get made quick enough. I'm not sure why that is. I'm pretty sure this is just fluid oxygen now. Yep. And we're at micrograms, so this is going to be a vacuum soon. It is now starting to become a vacuum because this pump's not getting anything to suck down. And the only issue we should have is that this metal volcano will slowly produce liquid further and further to the right, to the point where it starts melting stuff. So, since it is slowly becoming a vacuum, let's deconstruct everything we don't need. Like those. All of this. That. And that. We will, on the other hand, need this. Oh, is that all the cobalt it makes at one go? I'm surprised. Okay, we did unfortunately need this to be downwards. I forgot that was for the aqua tuner and not for the pump. Speaking of aqua tuner, I'm going to put in the automation and pipes before we even build the aqua tuner. Do that. Then we grab this. Make it out of igneous rock now that we have a supply of it again. This goes up, and this looks weird, but I need it to be 50-50 so that this steam turbine will produce. If you tie it in here, kind of bypasses one of the turbines, and one of them, only one will run. If you do this, both runs. I could go downwards and in, but I want to save that for the aqua tuner. Because if we go like this... and then like this and up. That should make sense once I put in the pipes. Now, what I'm gonna do is something like this when we have the aluminum for it. Could go over one. It could go like this. Let's do that instead. Like that, then bridge, then this guy. We do have the ability to come up here now because we have the building supplied. And you water enable 9. Alright, now I'm gonna come over here and do nothing because we're still waiting on aluminum. We should be getting closer to this running non-stop. This looks like it's doing better now. I think it's because we don't have heat being still introduced, so the heat is dispersing. We are also cooling down this area faster than it's heating up, so that should be fine. Which then means we won't need to add more liquid, but it should top off the bridge. Or the piles here. Alright, I see debris in here that we don't want in there, so let's just sweep all of And then this. I didn't want to sweep all that. So the bridge hasn't been built yet. Let's turn it on to 6, get that done next. Alright, there is steam in here. Why is there polluted oxygen? There's gotta be something in here that is creating polluted oxygen. And it's milligrams. Yeah, there's something in here producing polluted oxygen. I am going to tell them to sweep up everything that is not cobalt. Alright, everything else should be something we don't want in there. That should be all the stuff that's able to off-gas. They are almost on this. Oh, they put another bottle here. I meant to turn that off after they put the bridge in. So now there's probably an extra bottle in here that we don't need. Or an extra packet, I mean. Now, although this is trying, excuse me, to cool down the steam, it doesn't have a way to vent out, so it's not going to overheat. Actually, it is able to overheat. How in the world is it able to do that? No idea. Ah, it was polluted dirt that off-gassed. I see. Okay. We were doing this shenanigan stuff over here. They are venting this out. And with the way that I'm doing everything with the water, we should have no issues with steam being in here. And you just blocked yourself in there. Alright. Things are breaking over here. It's kind of okay, kind of not. Let's do this pod. Ooh, fried mushrooms. We'll take that extra food. And let's do our first prediction of the stream. So we have 30 points in tops. Hopefully it's tops. It is a decoration. So unfortunately I'm stealing your points. And we will start the next prediction in a half hour. Alright, our base should be fine. We should have water being supplied. We have intermittent water being supplied because it still has issues. I think once we get these going, we should have a lot of power off of that steam. We do get some off of this, but not enough for me to want to actually prioritize fixing it. And we are somewhat getting 100 kilograms of steam in this area, but it's not throughout every tile. We still have a while to go. I am going to put a tile up here, but we need to move the power like this. And I might as well fix the power through here, because it's a small run. Are there any other small runs? I think we were just talking about this, well, for one, but also over here in our new sauna. I should have enough for this. I don't know if I have enough for all this. I do. Alright. Has this been upgraded? It has. Hands coming off of this has been upgraded. But not the main spine. This is all upgraded. Depending on where we're looking, we just need to do the main line going up. Over here is not done. Steam turbines are. What's going on over here? Steam below 60 near the volcano, but not way over here. That's how you know that all these are producing more heat than we were using. We are still getting power through polluted water. How is hydrogen? Doing fine. This is now filled as far as I know. Nope, it's still getting filled. But that should get completed soon. What happened here? Pipe broke. That's how we're getting... Oh, is it too hot in here? No, it's only 85. Although I guess that would be too hot if it's sitting in here. I don't know. We'll have to fix that over time. They did do most of this. Let's deconstruct that. The steam is still figuring out where it's going to go. And because we don't have this done yet, all the aluminum, I can't place in aluminum in the other places. Oh, that turned into petroleum. That's not necessarily a good thing. Because that means this is getting hot enough that it could turn into sour gas. Can I prioritize this to be a little bit higher? I think that should be almost an emergency. Alright, we are still sweeping up stuff in here. And I was doing this so that we can hopefully open this tile up to get all this polluted oxygen to fill into that slot. Because if it's all at 4 grams, since that's 4,000 milligrams, it should all be able to condense into one tile, seeing that everything below it is kilograms. It's also at 100 kilograms, but we still need to expand into this tile, so I think we should get to 150 per tile, and then that should be enough water if we're not already up into this. There we go. The polluted oxygen should, over time, funnel into this one tile. And we can see that everything is already 100 kilograms? No, it was 100 kilograms because there was water here. It's not staying at 100 kilograms. Come on, polluted oxygen, go all the way over. Let's also add some temperature shift plates. Just to make things change in here a little bit faster when we have the steam turbine. Get more of this heat out at once. All the polluted oxygen is in there. If we put a tile here, that deletes the oxygen. No more mess. Why didn't you use the obsidian that was already in here? That's almost 2 tiles. 2 temperature shift plates, I mean. It's a little odd if you ask me. How are we doing on aluminum? We should be making it faster. We are indeed. I do not have a bridge on here yet, but because this isn't circulating, it's not going to actually do much. It's going to just keep flashing in here, and we don't want that. Where are we at? We're down here. We're at 86 kilograms per tile. And as we just saw, fluid oxygen is now destroyed. So the steam condenses to being over 100 kilograms when there's water on the bottom tile, but then once that turns into steam, it goes down. And it looks like every bottle is bringing in 5 kilograms of steam per tile, if my math is right. I could be wrong on that. I am going to turn the priority of this up and that down. Rebuild that. Since they're not really supplying power, I don't know why I just didn't deconstruct everything. And we should still be getting issues on being overused. I look at this. This is only 20. Oh, we actually have enough on this line that we could overload the heavy watt conductive wire. That's something I didn't think about. I don't think we really have to worry about that, but I wish the... Oh wait, no, the current load. 4 wires. I wish that there was a third thing. So right now it says current load and potential load. So if everything ran at once, it would be enough to break the heavy watt conductive wire. Currently we have about 12 kilowatts being used at max. Oh, there's a kitten at my feet. I just kicked a kitten trying to stretch. What I wish there was is a third thing saying how much we're currently creating, so that I can tell how much, like supply and demand in a way. The closer we get to this system running non-stop, the closer we are to having enough power for everything. They should be done, the aluminum over here. They are, so we can get this ready. I do, unfortunately, need to tell them to fix this. Awaiting repair delivery. 9, please. Sweep that up. That was probably from fixing the wires. Yeah, it looks like it. We do have sour gas in here. What I'm going to do is tell them to mop that up, and we'll do that single tile trick. Can they get in here? They can get in here. If I go like that, that should allow the sour gas to fall down. It's okay that this is petroleum for right now. Oh, we just almost deconstructed the tile completely. So someone's going to come back and look at it, and it's going to be destroyed. There we go. So this sour gas should fall down. It is lighter, or heavier than steam. And there shouldn't be enough to overfill this now. It gets close to overfilling it. Well, it can't really be overfilled because there's so much steam in every tile. So never mind on that. So all the sour gas is in there. I'm going to leave this there until we have this being fixed. I am not sure it is. It is actually bugged, so we want to deconstruct this and place it back in. Now we do have quite a bit of igneous rock at the moment, so I'm going to tell them to place in ladders over here. I'm going to actually pause because we're going to disconnect some of the ladders from the abyssalite. And it looks like it's taking about 4,000 each time I do one. So if we go to there, that's a decent amount, leaving us with extras afterwards. There's no liquids in those, so I don't need to put a tile in. I just need them to be able to get close enough to reach. If we just stop one, no, that one actually would probably need to be here. They can jump over, cancel those. That's just to save a little bit of igneous rock on this. Alright, continue going. That will dig out a majority of the base, actually. That's quite a bit. Print, nutrient bar. We should still be making aluminum. We are. Let's grab the aluminum and put it in over here. So I want it to go up, down, over, up, down, up, down. And that puts us back into a deficit of aluminum. We are going to go like this. Get a bridge. And I didn't mean to close out of that. Bottle of deer. Alright, we have the aqua tuner deconstructed. Let's place it back in. Let's change the priority on the sweeping. We don't have to get the building completely done yet. The sweeping is kind of important. I'm surprised, but we still aren't doing that. How is this getting hot? What? That's weird. We are going to mop up this area. Because I feel like it's transferring temperatures in a way that I don't want it to. How many tiles? There are kilograms in each tile. 124. We don't need this anymore. Alright, I am going to tell them to sweep out all of this. That should be good. This is ready to get more water. If I do that and put this on the 6, I should do that before the aqua tuner if we're lucky. That won't be an issue for a while. This, on the other hand, is an issue. I'm going to tell this to be below 6.9, so that doesn't off, or doesn't go off until they deconstruct this bridge. I need someone to break this now so we can turn this on. Hello? This water is just going to keep getting hotter. to turn this on. So there's going to be an extra bottle of water in here. Hopefully this doesn't flash. It's getting pretty close. Alright, hopefully that fixes itself over time. Meaning that this should be dropping in temperature. I'm sure it will. How's over here doing? We do have extra aluminum, so we have enough to build this. They just haven't come over and actually done the building part. They're focusing on the sweeping since that's at a higher priority. And we need to get in here and... What in the world happened here? How did petroleum get built up so high that it didn't come down here? Is it really just because of that one piece of oil from a pipe breaking? Is this dormant? It's dormant. It's not really dormant. It's active for 0.2 cycles, then it's dormant for 0.2 cycles. So it's not really a dormant thing, it's constant. What are we doing if we're not... Oh, the ladder's up here. What about that all on the floor? Oh, I also want them to deconstruct everything right here. With that being on a 4, they should go around to do other things more. Like building in all the aluminum pipes over here, which they're just now bringing the aluminum over for. What are we at on this? So we have 400 kilograms currently left over after building all those. We're going to need a lot more. I'm going to queue up 40 more orders and hope that that's enough. Alright. How is the temperature in this entire area? Is it... It's still too hot down here. That's because we're not actively cooling this area, but that should be fine. Nothing should melt. Here is 90, 90. It should be cold enough that we can go around again and mop up every bit of ethanol and water that's all over the place. And it shouldn't reflash into a gas. This is actually a lot of coverage that those gases went to. And I think this is producing water down here. So that's okay. If it comes down here, I'm fine with that. And that is almost all of the places that need to be swept. Place in a few tiles there. Let's place in one tile there. And we still have a few things there that we need to build in. And I think that is it. We do have stuff over here from this system, so that'll get fixed over time. We have heat damage up here, which is to be expected because we don't have an aqua tuner running. So let's actually build in that aqua tuner and have that running with a little extra power in it. Or a little extra water in it, I mean. Set this to anything above 25. What did I set this one on? That is set correctly, but this overheated because of the stuff inside. I need this to be repaired now. Otherwise, we're going to just be deconstructing it. You know what? That might be quicker. We're put on a 7. We don't need it on an emergency. And I need this to be done quickly enough that the water in the pipes don't flash. So what are they at? They're pretty much going to flash. If we can work out the temperature inside here, this can be fixed. Oh, there's gas in here, that's why it's still creating liquid. Still liquid there, still liquid here. This is having an issue because we can't get to it. And then we should be able to pick everything up and put it in here. How much gas is here? There's not that much, so when it gets to a colder area, it is going to just flash into a liquid. Come on, Sophie. You're not going to finish that. I already know that somebody else is going to have to come over and finish it. Pod. We'll take the extra steel. And we were making something out of steel over here, weren't we? Yes, the aqua tuner. Oh, I put the power in the wrong spot, didn't I? Yes, I did. I thought the power was on the left side. Luckily, there's cobalt right next to it. Alright, over here. Oh, we have ethanol in here. We had ethanol liquid for a moment there. I saw green. We just need power in this. That idea I had of making a square, how feasible is it with what we have? I can make it out of ore. We have stuff here as a temporary solution. I'm actually just going to deconstruct that stuff. Should I make it out of the heavy watt? I think we have enough. We definitely have enough. We'll just connect that in like that. I'm going to deconstruct everything else, including the temporary vent. All of that. I'll leave the water thing in there. Put those ladders in. It is close to the start of the next hour, so let's do the next prediction. Is the pod in the top left corner going to be tops, bottoms, buildings, decorations, or wallpaper? You have another 10 minutes to decide. The next time I look at the clock, we'll do the prediction when it's ready. We should be getting closer and closer. This is below 125, wow. We should be getting closer and closer to having this stuff working. It looks like this is going to erupt once more and then go dormant because it says dormancy 0 seconds. I'm not sure how that works because it still says it's rising. I'm just hoping that we can get rid of this temperature quick enough. Seems like the steam turbines are running more often than not. It's just it's too hot in this area that they can't really stay running. Water is doing its best to cool down this area. 89 at the top, wow. And then it goes up 10 degrees over one line. It doesn't get any hotter over here, wow. Okay, we're unfortunately about to have another injection of a lot of heat. Over here. Is this just having issues because the area around it is too hot? It is. It is enough that we could take temperature from steam up here. So that whole system here is going to be running for quite a while, so long as people fix everything. There's one whole tile there. Oh, we should probably, not have this run. Hold on. We do need the pipes to get fixed so that I can continue looping around, but we don't actually want these to turn on. So when this gets blocked up, that'll be it for that. And this broke. I don't think someone's coming over to fix it, so we're going to do a deconstruct trick. So far we've been doing okay because the pipes haven't broken. This should be the last of the gas that was up here. Need to do that again, this again. And that leads us all the way down to here, where there's some right there. Some right here. And that's it. There's a lot of water right here. We're not going to worry about that. I think that's dripping from up here or something. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now, because we haven't looked at it in a while, is I'm going to update the to-do list. So right now we currently have just survive as our to-do list. Why am I not logged in to Stream Elements? That's weird. Authorize. There we go. The to-do list. We're going to update this to upgrade power lines. Tame all geysers, or vents and geysers. We'll say fix oil in case I don't finish it. Fluid oxygen vent. Tufts. Is there anything else on this asteroid? I think that's it. We have 5 things to do. Some of it requires just waiting. Oh, let's do a 6th thing of dig out asteroid. And then the next thing after that, which is going to be the last thing, is dream journals. So I'm gonna update the to-do list. You guys should see it immediately when I do this. Okay. So the first 5 things are not in a specific order. The last 2 are, because digging out the asteroid is not a priority, and doing the dream journals is going to be the very last thing, not including digging out the asteroid. We could continue digging it out after starting doing our side stories, which we might do. We might do like a side story, come back for a couple cycles and dig out more stuff, do another dream journal, go back and forth. They are up here building this, so that means they're not fixing things, or they already have. Over here is still messed up, though. Is it construction? Digging? Cleaning? Duties? It's duties? Really? Okay. I didn't think it would be duties. Whatever. And then I want the turbine to be on a 5. Hopefully putting it on a 6 means that they come over there and fix it. And this broke down, and we need to turn that back on. Temperature is rising. I think we are cold enough in here that I could go like this. Get out all of that debris. Since they're doing... Whoa, what's that? Liquid phosphorus, really? Why is it hot enough to be liquid phosphorus up here? No idea. We're gonna dig all that out now. Oh, we need to put in ladders over here because they deconstructed that room. We're actually only 1 ladder run away from our base height, or starting point, so let's just do the base portion as well, so we can just run across. Alright, regular pod. Take the extra food. We have, I think, about a minute left of the prediction. So you guys still have a chance if you come in recently. And we will open the pod after the ads, because they're about to start in a few seconds. Why are they not fixing these?
Hi, baby. Where? Hey. What you doing? What are you doing?
I might have a kitten on my lap in a few seconds. I'm getting the blanket ready. Alright. I really don't know why they're not fixing things. Is that more ethanol? It is. I'm gonna assume that some of these bottles are just an area that's too hot, so they're not being swept up quicker than it's overheating. Everything else is actually cleaned up. That's awesome. This is no longer dormant, which is an issue for our water. Oh, it dropped off igneous rock. Okay. So they're doing some of the pipes now. We just have two things that are not running as optimally as I would like them to be. And I want this to be on emergency at this point. There's steel right next to it. Oh, does it not run when they're fixing it? That's something I never noticed before. Huh. Alright, I'm going to turn that down to a 9 so we're not having the alarm every few seconds. And I think we are able to put this tile in and get rid of that sour gas. How hot can steel get? Overheat is at 325, so we're not too far off. We're only 100 degrees too hot. If we can get the water to stay cooled down long enough for the steam turbines to stay going, we could get this drained out very quickly of heat. Welcome back from the ads, everyone. As I had promised, we are going to be doing the prediction, but I am concerned with our pipes. I might have to put them on a higher priority than just 6. Or it's because they're prioritizing building before fixing. That could be what's happening. Deconstructing should not be the same thing. There's one more ladder that I want to get rid of. Right there. Okay, hopefully, since they're not building anything, they can fix these pipes. This is starting to run the entire time. We are getting colder. It's not instantaneous, but we are getting colder. The longer that these get cooled down... How's the ambient temperature doing? It is actually relatively cold. Why are we getting scolding? This rock is in here. Because we swept it up before it was cooled down. That means it's going to be right here. Alright, you need to stop picking up igneous rock. How far have they gotten? Almost done. And that's it. Sweep this up again, please. The amount of debris in here should cancel out the temperature in the igneous rock as it sits there longer. I need this stuff moved now. Okay, they just picked up the rest of it. Now we just gotta wait for the temperature to cool down again. I hate that we've been in this situation multiple times. So now this is probably going to drag the heat all around the base. Yep. Wait, no, that's not where heat goes. That's where it was. Alright, I'm gonna have to pay attention to incapacitated messages. Oh, we almost have this running. When they get to a full bar, that means that they're at least cold enough to continue running the entire time. Up here is 90s. Means this should not be at 100 anywhere. It pushed the 100-degree temperature over here, that's good. What temperature does this have to be at in order for it to not be having an issue? It just has to be below 100. Oh, that makes sense why it's hotter over here than on the right side. Okay. We have 90-degree stuff. We're in the low 90s. There are some things over here. This oxygen is about 100 degrees. That's coming down here. Okay. That should be getting better. How's the temperature in here doing? It's getting there. Once it's below 75, there shouldn't be any damages. And it's close to getting at 75. Alright, they did fix some pipes over here, but now they just broke again. I think what we want is something continuously pumping into there. So I'm going to set up a temporary pump over here. We're going to need mesh tiles. Generator, battery. We'll go down a few tiles. Pump. Pipes to not that. Here. So long as we can keep up with the things that are breaking, we should be able to supply water in here to cool this down long enough for it to at least make a loop into the aqua tuner. And actually, it seems like it's doing it now. And now that the aqua tuners are stifled by no output, we shouldn't be having more heat being introduced to this area. So if we're lucky, as it's doing the loops, it's cooling down even further. It's just going to take quite a while and a lot of time to fix. Over here, we got 2 turbines running non-stop, so it's getting cooled enough over here. Well, we had them at non-stop, then they got too hot. This is now cold enough that the steam turbine is no longer being broken. So I am going to sweep up all of that. We have no sour gas in there. We can now ignore this, and this should fix itself over time. Alright, so our main focuses are over here now. We have a regular pod. Did we do the prediction? We did not do the prediction. Let's get the... Ooh, spicy tofu. Let's do the prediction. We have 30 points in tops once again. I hope it's tops. It is wallpaper, and it's a high-vis Data bank. That's pretty cool looking. I've never seen that. So unfortunately, stealing your points yet again. That is a cool wallpaper. I agree, Gino. There is a Sweetle at the very bottom of the base. That's not where you belong. Alright, how is things in here? Are we fixing the stuff that is broken? I am not sure. I don't know how critters work temperature-wise when they're hurt. Do they get healed over time? I don't know. I'm gonna hope that they get healed over time, or it's just they die at some point and get replaced by the new eggs. Let's put people in here to get them healed. Ari is about 60% healed. Alright, and while we're still playing around with this, are you going to place in all of the tiles? Majority of them. Pretty good amount. They are almost done fixing all this. I want this to be on a 9 so that they do this quickly. Now it seems like this area is cold enough that the water's no longer breaking it in the pipes. But then again, it is getting up to 100 degree. Actually, no, it's not. Hold on a second. This is actually doing pretty good. There is unfortunately steam in this area, which is condensing, it seems. But that's also good. So we might be okay. They can run on this if they need to. Let's see if they're out of the room yet. They're almost done. Put Gino in next. I saw Gino had quite a bit of health taken out of him. How's this doing? It's just too cold. What about over here? Also too cold. Over here. Getting cold down. So as we already knew, this is enough to tame a minor volcano. Regular volcano, probably is going to need more. There is water in here. That means something flashed steam. I'm gonna leave it in there. How's this area doing? Still 99 degrees. I think what would help us is doing the ladder runs in this area so we can dig out all of this debris. Alright, that should be all the ladders we need. I got something in my eye. That was painful. Alright, with that being built, let's tell them to dig out another layer. This thing is still in my eye. Alright, I'm gonna have to turn off the camera for a second, try and get this out of my eye. I will be back in a few seconds. Welcome in, Raiders! For those that don't know me, even though I'm pretty sure everyone knows me in Regis's channel, my name is Coded. On my channel, we stream now on Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, where we are playing all of my games in a specific order to show mankind's progression through technology. We did a chapter on medieval games, a chapter on modern games, now we're in a space travel game genre. So we are doing Oxygen Not Included. We are pretty much just doing some cleanup around the base, taming some volcanoes, taming some geysers, getting more steam-powered power. And I was just taking a break because I had something in my eye, very painfully scratching my eye. So I was here. But anyway, Regas, how was Hitman? Did you hit all the mans? Did you man all the hits? I see that Sophie was here because I saw their walk-on show up. I also never got the walk-on that Willow wanted me to make, because Willow did the redeem. In case I haven't said it in a while, there is a 1,000-point redeem, or 10,000-point redeem, that anyone can do, and you get a walk-on for the first message you do in every stream. So, Riga says he isn't even here. Then, for some reason, Mad King Chris got automodded. Don't know why. I'm gonna have to check my settings on my channel. And Sophie found out that I have the Jingle Bells clip. Welcome in, Oz. Automod speedrun 5 seconds. Yeah, I don't know why it automodded you for that. I know it's because you said the word fuck in it, but at the same time, we're not necessarily family friendly. You're here, you had bad luck, and I'm here to pass the bad luck to you. Wow. The man's hit you this time? Oh no. Alright, we're gonna get back into the game. What we're trying to do currently is cool down this area so that the steam turbines can run. Right now I have them not being able to turn on because I didn't put a vent for their water to drain out. So they can't keep producing heat as I'm trying to cool down this area. And it is getting cooled down. I think we're at the point where I can get rid of all of these pipes. Which is unfortunate because I just set up some of these pipes so that I could supply water into there a little bit faster. But if we don't need them, then we're not going to have them. We are also digging out the asteroid a little bit. And I just updated below my camera, below chat, the to-do list. So the first 5 things are not in a specific order, it's just the order that I thought of them. The last 2 things are in a specific order. Dig out the asteroids not really more important than doing the dream journals, but the dream journals is the last thing to do, because that brings us into our side stories, which we have not done yet. And we're already, I think, 1 stream away. Yeah, we are 1 stream away of being the exact same length as all of chapter 2, and we've only played 3 games. Let me catch up on chat. You get automated in almost every stream? Oh no. You're not the problem. You're definitely not the problem. What are you guys talking about? I have no idea what you guys are talking about. I'm just gonna let that go. Alright, to get this to run non-stop, we need to at least take out 1 packet of water. I'm just gonna go like this. I do need this done yesterday so that we can reconnect the lines. This needs to be deconstructed. And we're going to build these 4 ladders back in. It definitely is the word. It's saying that it's counted as sexual harassment. I don't know why. Because you're not aiming it towards someone. It's just weird. So this is already getting cooled down enough that the steam turbine here is not full. Which is a little odd. Alright, they did the one pump, or the one pipe, I mean. Let's place that back in. Now, when the steam turbine isn't running, it should continue moving. Why is it letting a mod do it? Wow. Did a D&D stream of Death House yesterday, so that was interesting. Oh, you're answering, Sophie. This is discrimination? It seems like it. I'm gonna have to definitely check my chat settings. Because as long as we're not being rude to each other, I don't really care what you guys say in chat. It'd be different if you were, like, harassing someone literally. Like if someone randomly came into the channel and started being rude. Alright, there's a bunch of fish. They're all gonna flop into here, and then we can kill them all. Alright. Are there any transformers that weren't running before that are running now? You're not on. You're not on. This doesn't have a transformer. This is not on. This is not on. That's new. That was on, and that does a majority of stuff in here. So I guess even though we are somewhat making more power, the power that we're using from the aqua tuners is being taken away from other transformers. You only harass friends who consent. Alright, this is now down at 88 degrees. I think that is good enough for us to turn on the steam turbines. So we're going to place that drainer in there. Once it's built, they'll start running. Over here is apparently too cold for these turbines to run. And this isn't dormant yet. It won't be for a while. I can't get in here and dig that out. I can do this though. Again, we're going to dig this out just to try and get the heat out of here. Debris from tiles being dug out heat up less than the tiles themselves, because they lose mass when you dig it out. So like this is radiating heat, but when you turn into debris, it still radiates the heat into the air, but it's less. Let's also do another line up here. Try and get closer to our base. We can also dig this out. There's only a few ladders that we wouldn't be able to build. The majority of this is tiles, so I'm going to do this as well. And we might as well do that. They can come from up here. Alright. They did actually build... You know what? this stuff I'm not going to do because even though right here is tiles that we're trying to replace with ladders, I don't want them to do it yet. Is there anyone still hurt? Yelp is hurt. Oh, since Sophie is here, I just remembered. I spoke to Sophie, as I said I was going to, and we talked about the fact that before, Sophie said that they wanted multiple dupes named dupe. We have 8 available dupes. I thought they were joking at first. They were being serious, so we are going to name more dupes the word dupe. There is going to be a total of 6 dupes named dupe. I told them I would give them half of the 8 that are available, and then they made a point saying that because I didn't do it, that there should be interest. That's not how I want to do this. So we are going to figure out, you know, let's go off of the first 12. Is there a way I can do that? If I do skills. Actually the first 12 would be better to look up by their beds. Gino, Willow, dupe number 1, Taco, Wubby, Amy, Slicky, Papa, Rasputin, Max, Regus, Cloud Cover, and Lyra. There's one dupe that's not named. Let's go here. So this makes 1. And then Sophie. Marie, that's another one. Okay, there we go. So this counts as 2. Meep is next. Three. So it should be Sophie, Dupe, Dupe, someone else. Sophie, Dupe, Dupe, Yelp, Daughterly, Ellie's next. This is 3 out of 5. We have Dupe there, Jugal. Liam is next. Click on him, there we go. So this is 4 out of 5. And then Jackie, wait. Mima, Abe, Ari. That should be all of them then. Because I should have 3 left over. Unless I miscounted before. Let's look at skills. How many dupes are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I miscounted as I was doing it. This is the total that Sophie does have. So Sophie did pay for 4 extra dupes. They're getting a free one because I thought they were joking before. Okay. Now that we have that going. This is looking good. Down here should be going. So we should have a little bit extra power from that, but it looks like we're still on a deficit of power. And we should do this whole system on the Gold Volcano. We also need to do this up here on that volcano. This is facing the right direction. I just need to not copy this belt or pipe. So we're gonna go from here. No, let's grab the ladders with the drain pipe for the steam turbines. Go like this. Put it here and figure out what we don't want. So aside from pipes, You know, when they build the... I'm gonna have to just redo the pipes. Up, over, down, up, over... Did I not have that bridged? Are they working without a bridge? No, they are bridged. I just didn't see me not deconstruct. I didn't see me cancel the bridge. Alright, and then... blueprints do not replace ladders. So we need to do that. Regus is stock. We'll do that, get him unstuck. Put in a ladder right there so they can build that. We don't need these. We are going to need a ladder going down this area like this. And then ladders coming over. And I guess just dig this portion. Not breaking the abyssalite from outside. They should be able to build all of this right now and not have to worry about the volcano, although we do have to vacuum this out. We should also place in that portion. And if this were to go dormant while we're doing this, that would help us a lot. Because another reason why this one down here is having issues getting set up is because this wasn't dormant when we were setting it up. It currently is, so now they're actually going to go out of use soon. Luckily this one is not dormant, it's just getting cooled down quicker than it's used, which is what we expected. We probably should get into fixing this soon. And that's just going to require putting in a lot of water. Oh, that water I had down here I should have just left. Yeah, let's put that system back in. We need mesh tiles again. I put 5, I only need 4. I can't cancel in that screen. Okay, pump. Pipe. Up. Over 1. Bridge in. Power. Generator. Battery. Not there. Power line. Cancel. Still can't cancel that. Power back in. This is going to get confusing. One of your dupes is in trouble. Which one? Yeah. I have a feeling it's going to do that. I remember when we first did it, where Sophie redeemed all the points, I was wondering if I should put a number for each one. And I distinctly remember Sophie saying, do not number the dupes. So we're not doing that. Right, this blueprint, nothing from that. It is also... It's not time for the third blueprint, but it's also a little bit past time for me to feed the cats. So we are going to take a moment, and I'm going to focus on here. And we're going to take a quick cat break, feed kittens. Something new is happening on my bed. I don't know if you guys can make out, but there's a little furry friend right here. That is Mama. She doesn't lay on the bed. That's new. The kittens have always laid on the bed because they lay with me, but she's never laid on her. That is an improvement on her trusting me. Sophie just wants to watch the world burn. I oddly respect it. I 100% respect it. Okay, we're gonna take our break. in the cat cam, we should have the game running at the bottom. If we don't, I'm going to pause the game. We were vacuuming out and I added water to this. And I was vacuuming out with multiple pumps, but the steam was rising faster than it, so I went down to just one pump now. Thanks, Oz, for telling me after I got out of it. Yeah, I added salt water from here up into this to try and supply it with some water, but as doing so, some of it already flashed. And I need that stuff picked up or else it's gonna melt. Apparently we have some water, so I think the steam changed. We should still be getting polluted oxygen. I think the steam is high enough that it's going over, or I'm vacuuming it out faster than it can go over. I'm not sure. I don't want to open this up until they sweep up those two things. Or else they're going to turn into magma. And Sophie says, which one is Sophie? It's one of the gray tuxedos. I can't see them right now. They must be hiding somewhere. I see Paintbrush and then Ashes, but I don't see Sophie. Alright, this is only a couple 100 grams. We now have steam over to that point. Alright, now we are getting... just polluted oxygen, hopefully. I'm gonna keep letting it take out steam until all this is cleaned up. If we're lucky, that volcano will not produce magma until this is all done. Would it help if I deconstructed that one tile to allow steam to crawl in there as it gets pulled out? Possibly. Because it's about to be a vacuum in this entire area with how fast this is going down. And this is going to erupt in one cycle. We should get all the polluted oxygen out of here about one cycle. We might even get the whole thing vacuumed by one cycle. How much is in here? Milligrams and milligrams. Yeah, we might get this vacuumed out before we even get polluted oxygen out of this. If this was still... Alright, it's still filling with water. If it was ready, we could just open it up and let the magma fall down, but we're not ready for that. Because that would allow steam to push this polluted oxygen up in the corner. Actually, why are we doing it this way instead of just doing that? And letting the polluted oxygen be pushed in this. If we're quick about it, I can open this up. Or you can just do one tile and then run away. You didn't even run to the other ladders to go up there and build that. Shame. There we go. Deconstruct both of those. Then if we were to turn off this pump, polluted oxygen should get pushed into this corner. And we can let the steam come in. Deconstruct that. You know, I'm gonna just connect this back in until they deconstruct stuff. Good job, Regus, on getting rid of everything. I'm gonna put this back in. And we can go like this, and like that. To allow the magma to come over here. Actually, we might not need to make the magma go over there, because it's, temperature shift plates. And with it being micrograms, this is going to get overheated very quickly. Now we're kind of just waiting for this to erupt, which it's about to do. Alright, so this should be ready to get water. Are you not going to? You are kidding me. It just went dormant. Looks like we're vacuuming this out. Alright. Get some glass from the regular pod. We should be back from the breaks from the ads from a while ago, so let's do the prediction. We have 2,000 points in tops, 30 points in bottoms, and 1,000 points in decorations. Let's see what we get. Another wallpaper, and it's a coffee print. That's cool. That's neat. We got two cool wallpapers today. Unfortunately, nobody won. So we had a decoration and two wallpapers. And there's even more ethanol right here. Clean all that up, all that. Over here has calmed down, so let's clean up some of this stuff. And I have oil here for some reason. That's not on auto bottle. Oh, this is just going to keep getting overheated. If I go like this, we'll replace another pipe. Because it's sitting here that it's overheating. If it wasn't sitting there, it wouldn't be flashing it. Then we have the ethanol gas that's in here. Looks like Mom was playing with the kittens. Let's finish off this. This would have been ready if the pipes weren't breaking. And I forgot that's going to make this not be able to be used. Unless we somehow get hot debris in here. I'm just gonna turn you off. This area apparently isn't too hot. I think that was because the aqua tuner was running. Pretty sure over time this is gonna keep getting hotter and hotter until the pipes burst again. So I'm gonna leave that on while they fix everything. This is now a vacuum. Deconstruct everything all over again. And I'm going to try and find some hot debris that I can throw into this water and make it into steam. Once they deconstruct something. There we go. Alright, Is there any igneous rock in here? There is. Let's relocate this to in here. Emergency. That should at least kickstart it to be in Steam. I am following that dupe. I think that's Regis. I'm not sure. Taking a relatively odd way of getting in there. That did make steam. Not a lot though. So hopefully the next amount will make it into steam a little bit more. We're at milligrams now. The temperature like in this area. We got some temperature ship plates still getting up to temp. Majority of it is ready though. That was apparently all of it. Is there anything else really hot that we could move? This is a couple thousand degrees. That might be enough. I'm hoping if I put it all in one spot, it'll flash the water a little bit quicker. Especially if I take out the other debris that isn't giving the heat and just taking in heat from the water. We don't need to heat up the water, or the debris in the water, we just need to heat up the water itself. Pick that up. Alright, that definitely made this skyrocket a little bit. Maybe I'm wrong. We're actually losing steam. They drop any in here? They have not. They just haven't come over here and grabbed more. Okay. A little bit of oil from the slicksters over here. Alright. Dupe has the last bit of the igneous rock. That's a couple thousand degrees. Will it be enough? We also have more than enough water, so we can come down here and disconnect this. When does salt water boil, by the way? I think it has a higher threshold than water, doesn't it? No, it has about the same threshold, so it should be flashing now. I wonder if me... actually, it would be transferring the heat down there now. I was gonna say, I wonder if me having this running would help heat this area up. But it's still hot enough that it's not transferring its thermals out into the steam. Even that water is ready to flash. But it's just not there yet. Where did gold come from? How did we just add gold to this? There it goes. There's some of the steam. That's a couple kilograms. That should be enough to cool this down to where it stops overheating. Yeah. Let's turn this back on. I need to disconnect this bridge first. And this water is only 90 degrees. Wow. I'm surprised. Could somebody come deconstruct this bridge, please? There we go. Thank you, Regis. Alright, then this should slowly be draining. Actually, if we look here, this would be the one that's draining. That's just gonna keep going until we have, hopefully, 100 kilograms of steam in every tile. I really don't know where that gold came from. Let's stop this so I don't have to hear the noise. And how much is up here? Yep, there is 100 kilograms of steam. We also need to add power to the steam turbines. Let's go like that, like this, and then connect it in. That should at least tell them to start. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell them to sweep up everything and then cancel out the igneous rock sweeps. We'll let them stay up here and heat up the air. I don't need to put ladders here because I have the ladders way over here. It is a far walk, but they're fine with that. Regular pot. We don't want any of that. What should be the next thing? That was all 3 minor volcanoes being tamed. We tamed one more metal volcano. We could get the gold set up and start doing that next. We have a bit of cobalt we could use. How much would this cost, getting all the way up to here? About 5. What about all the way over here? Less than 5. Although we could have just placed the sail in with the upgraded cord. Didn't realize that. So that's all not going to break when we have too much power being drawn. There's phosphorus right here. Alright, that should be getting better over time. Hello, little one. Are you Sophie or Ashes? What you doing, mister? That's definitely Ashes, who just ran across the computer. Oh, now Sophie's over here. Hey, little girl. Hey. What you doing? There's something funky on the bottom of my sock? Why you smell my feet so, like, strongly? She's getting her nose in between my toes. Alright, since we still have about a half hour, I think we should do something quick. Rather than try and do this. This won't be quick. And this won't be quick either. Let's do another volcano tame. We still have a vent here for some reason. Do we have any pipes there? Insulated gas pipe. We do have a pipe there. That's weird.
Hi, pretty girl. What you doing? You like laying on the paper? No, you're just licking my hand. What you doing?
I can't move the camera right now, but Sophie is laying on the table. Alright, well, let the autosave go, and then I'm going to copy and paste this entire thing, including these two ladders, which we might have to move. So I need to go from here to here. Grab that, slap it in right here. And then we just have to replace some things. First, getting rid of all of those ladders. Don't build that. Don't build that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I can't count. There we go. Outside of those, build this in. Build ladders down that. So I can get to everything on the other side. That's going to immediately open the volcano. Let's not do that. I want to vacuum this out first. What we're going to need, that didn't get copied over, is not that. Steam on the inside? Steel on the inside, I mean? Cobalt on the outside. And then, bottle. Get this ready for getting vacuumed out. We'll go like that. And you're stuck, Meemaw. What happened? Now I gotta do this. Actually, no, hold on. We just do those two. I can get her, hopefully, to jump over there. Deconstruct this one, then deconstruct that and she'll fall. Come on, Taco. You're a little bit slow on the building. No, Meemaw. Meemaw, you need to be over here. Meemaw. Fell asleep. Dang it, Meemaw. If you didn't fall asleep, you would have been out already. Meemaw. Get over here. Oh, you found your way out. Awesome. No, we're not ready for oil yet. Oh yeah, why didn't it bring over the aqua tuner? That's a bit odd. Anyway, up, over like this. You know, we'll go straight up. And vent. Right there. You need to be deconstructed. This is going to take a while to fill up so it can be started in. This one shouldn't be started in because it might go into here. And I really don't want to clean it up later. I should prioritize this. And this. Which was just placed in, so they're going to build it. Good job, dupe. Don't know which dupe. That's definitely a dupe. we can put in the pump here. Eventually that will be powered. Now we can copy this over to the other one and have both of them getting pumped in at the same time. Didn't put the aquature in it because there's ladders here. That makes sense. Do I have enough cobalt? I do have enough cobalt, or else this would have said 0. And we do have enough to connect this in right away. I can get... there we go. Alright, we have enough built in that I could put one steam turbine. And then I don't have enough cobalt for the next one. Which overall should be fine. We're gonna need to get that stuff out of here. Load that back up again because I think some debris fell on there that wasn't queued up. And then we just need one of the volcanoes to go off for a few seconds. You're dormant, that's not good. I'm going to assume this is dormant as well. It's not dormant. It goes off in half a cycle. So that should work out perfectly with when we get to the point of needing that again. We have this transformer going. We're getting closer to being able to run everything, chat. Now, if this was going off at the same time right now, we'd be able to have all that power. We have this all powered up. Why are you damaged? How hot were you? 21. How are you damaged? Did we, like, bottle empty something in there that was too hot? I don't know. Oh, we're still also upgrading all this. I could stop them upgrading and just tell them to focus on this. Yeah, it's gonna take them a while to get this set up. There is a hone edge in chat if anyone wants a sword. Let's get the bottle drainer set up. Because we can at least get that stuff in there and have this pumped. Alright, how much is in here? We need one more bottle of oil for both areas. That's the last bottle for this one. And that's the last bottle for this one. Can now put this right here. Start vacuuming that out once they put this on. Mima's kind of going all over the place instead of just supplying the stuff that she's closest to. I don't know why she's going back and forth. Did I queue this up to be deconstructed? I did. They just didn't finish it. Alright, we have power going a little bit further in, just not all the way yet. Willow is supplying to everything. I'm gonna have this started already. That should immediately start vacuuming this out. It is. How is there 14 kilograms of polluted oxygen in this one area? That is crazy. I'm debating on moving this over, breaking this so that we have 2 pumps taking all this out. I'm surprised we have that much in this area. But this whole thing? It is the whole thing, wow. I mean, I understand why we have so much oxygen in here, because we had broken our spom to try and get breathable air. But how much hydrogen's 10 kilograms per tile? We're gonna want to steal all that hydrogen. I don't know how we're gonna get it all in there. We have to figure it out. We're still waiting for that cobalt to come in. I think it already went off, and that's why we have almost 400. But I also feel like we would have got more cobalt from the volcano. Yeah, we would have. It hasn't gone off yet. 0.2 cycles. Or it has gone off, and this is the second time it's going off. Either way, we have more coming. Alright, we're supplying water to the area. We're also vacuuming out the original spot. Let's deconstruct that. Cancel and deconstruct this. While you're still here, set up those 2 pipes to be deconstructed. And all I have to do is re-queue up, sweeping everything out of here. This can be deconstructed. Do I put in a second pump? We're already at 4 kilograms, so I don't think we actually need another pump. We could get that piece of oxygen out of here, though. We could somewhat clean this up faster. It's easier to clean out one gas than it is when there's mixed gases, for some reason I've noticed. We now have enough for another cobalt generator. Let's put that in. Are you going to be able to get all of it out? There we go. I could make it faster by putting in another thing. Let's start filling this with water first. And then we'll worry about everything else afterwards. How big is this area? It is 31 tiles. Which means I would want 300 kilograms of water on every tile if we were doing the entire floor. Divided by what? 6? Yeah, 6 tiles. 516 kilograms of water in each one of these tiles will give us 100 kilograms throughout the entire thing when we're ready. Apparently we're at almost vacuum range. We're at milligrams already. Soon be in micrograms, I hope. One bottle gives us a third. How many bottles would we need? We would need 15 bottles. Hi, baby. What are you doing? You can't lay there. I'm gonna move you if you lay on the keyboard. Alright, let's get all of this out of here. Oh! There's something off-gassing in here. Yeah, see, now you're laying on the keyboard. You can lay on my lap. Or you can lay on the blanket. You can't lay on the keyboard. Cancel that. I have a feeling you're looking at cord for the headphones like you're gonna eat it. Let's hide that from you. They can't get that debris. We're gonna have to uncork this in order to get all the debris out of it. Let's get this water done a little bit quicker. And I'm also going to do that oxygen trick. $99 kilograms. Did we get the thing that off-gassed? Because now it's saying it's a vacuum. No, we did. There's polluted dirt right there. So for some reason I just haven't off-gassed yet. Damn it. You gonna go mess with your brother? Or are you gonna attack your brother? You're definitely about to pounce on him. Alright, how much longer until we have enough? About 300 more. How's this area doing? The water in there is actually cold enough for this to be working. So, let's turn this on. I'll get this area a tiny bit colder than it currently is. This volcano is already dormant, so we're not going to get much heat out of it. We will be getting a lot out of this Gold Volcano if we can get it filled quick enough. We're now at 300 kilograms, so they brought 3 bottles over already. And I think we should do a multiple pump system in here to try and get rid of all this liquid. Should get the majority of all that. I need a pump here. I'll have to move stuff around. Can't put one there because there's a ladder in the way. Can't do any of these because there's ladders in the way. So there'd be one here, here, here. Two, 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 two. Okay, it's at the end of the ladder. One, two. Oh, that's right at the petroleum. Luckily, it's not powered yet. Why can't I put one there? Oh, there's a ladder. And one more. We're gonna have to find a way to get this petroleum line to move up a little bit. Still can't put one there because of the ladder. So they can get up and out using a ladder. This should all get filtered out quickly now. And now we figure out how in the world we're going to get all these pumped together. I think we just go like this. Make it all nice and dirty. Petroleum line, on the other hand, is going to have to come up and over. So that's not part of the other line. That's gonna get deconstructed and moved. Right here. No, that's not what I wanted. Could somebody deconstruct this already? There we go. Alright, I am going to cut it off here so that hopefully it's draining out a little bit quicker. I have no idea how all of this is going to work. There's definitely way too much on this power line. I'm going to increase all... Oh, I can't do it out of cobalt. Let's do it out of something else that's renewable, like iron. No, let's do it out of lead. We have a lot of lead. If I did this the right way, we can turn on the pumps when we're ready for them, instead of having them all running at the same time. And this one's just going to go all the way across. And we'll just go like this at every pump. This is just to get the ethanol and oil off the ground. Alright, petroleum is mostly emptied out. If we disconnect that and plug it back into here, it will be ready to drain. You can get connected in there, and I also need a bridge. Right there. Okay. Now we're just waiting for the power. And we don't need this pump anymore. This can get reconnected. This can be deconstructed. So can this. And this entire water line going up. What is going on in here? Why is there oil again in that same spot? Alright, they're doing lead. Looks like the closest spots to the ladders first. So if we look up here, we should have oil and ethanol. Everything else just gets pumped right back on top of right here. Now this should be running. Do we not have all the pipes in? Do I need to prioritize a pipe somewhere? No, it's running. I just didn't notice it running. Okay, so right here, this should be going down. It is not. But these two are. Now that ethanol is going down. Okay, maybe it was going down this whole time and I just didn't notice. I don't know. I'm just hoping that at some point I'll be able to mop that up. You know, should have probably checked. Before I even turn on any of this, can any of this be mopped? I know this portion can't. So we can get a majority of that oil out of here. And something's going on with the pipes. What is going on? All the way up here. Oh, this is blocked. Hmm. And that is stopped by the petroleum not working. Oh, that's how we got too hot. Petroleum. Alright, let's pump petroleum back into there. We are going to turn off petroleum dumping over here. Are we able? We are able. I never connect these in. And this. We continue down like that. That should be at some point allowing more oil to get in here. Once this is down to 500. Okay, I'm okay with that. Once this is down to 500, which isn't too far away, we should be pumping in more oil, which will then open up this, allowing us to filter out more stuff. And in preparation, I have a feeling that that ethanol that's above the pump is not going to be pumped up. I can't tell because we're not moving anything yet. And we're also not pumping it out quickly enough because of the aqua tuners. It's an issue for another day. And click on this, there we go. Let's do that so we can just keep emptying out this area. Right, are you getting any of this ethanol? No. You are getting that. Okay. So we're definitely gonna have to put in another pump right here. Same thing's probably gonna happen over here in these two corners that people can't get to. Now what's going on? Power draw? Power draw. And we're powering to the whole thing, not just over here. I thought we were just doing over here. Now we are. We'll turn off the oil process. We don't need to make oil right now. We do need the... We need the pump. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put a switch right here. Right here. Looks like some salt vine seeds. Now, ooh, this area has way too much water in it. I was not paying attention. And it's also still trying to vacuum out polluted water. Is this... It's still idle. Okay. Let's get in here. Open that up just in case. We might have enough in here that we get gas overpressure. Alright, where is Gino and Sophie? Here comes Sophie. Alright, now that there is water in here, we shouldn't have anything off-gassing. We should be able to pick up everything. Probably shouldn't have queued up the extra stuff. This is a vacuum. If I find that polluted dirt again, I can tell them to do that first. Anything else that off-gasses? Not seeing anything else that would off-gas. Nickel bisylate. And that should be... Okay, so if the polluted dirt's gone, we shouldn't have anything off-gassing when this turns on. So, I don't know when it's going to erupt. But when it does, we should be ready, and I can actually rebuild this. Oh, it's about to erupt now. I need to disconnect this from power. And deconstruct everything. So that we can get this aqua tuner in here. Run this 25. And this water is taking in all of that heat very quickly. Right, utilities, put an aqua tuner right here. We also need a vent. Right there. Welcome in. First time chatter, Lorgom. Bad idea? No, we're fine. And we're back from the ads. How much hotter is gold from cobalt? Yeah, it's about the same as a cobalt. We don't actually need to steam turbines to tame it. Are they coming over to do this? Yeah, they are. Will is coming for it. Okay. What were we also doing? We're doing some shenanigans down here. It's still not doing that ethanol, so let's do that. I'm gonna turn on the next thing. I didn't hit deconstruct, I thought I did. What did I hit deconstruct on then? Was it the wire? I don't know. But hopefully they come deconstruct this. Because we're kind of wasting power on it. We're having issues here. Let's keep pushing that back a little bit. I think this is just due to the fact that we're pumping petroleum back in there instead of just putting it down here. Why is there ethanol out here? Why? There's no way it's too hot in here. Oh, it is. Ooh. Obsidian tiles. They need to be doubled. Probably the same thing in here. It's below 100, I'm fine with that. Alright, we are going to disconnect the automation to that. And have this on so that when we have the oil come back up here, as it's about to do, it gets sorted out. Let's build this over here again. And hopefully soon we'll have all this ethanol and oil taken out of here. So long as we stop getting more ethanol floating off the area. Didn't mean to do that, but that's fine. Is this ready to be turned on? It is. This is just going to be all. Because it eventually will get that. Oh, there's apparently gold and centenary rock. I knew there was the rock. I didn't know there was gold. Right, eventually it'll pick up all that. And this is now on a transformer, so it doesn't need to be powered by dupes. I tried same in previous try. I make sure to construct with doors on Volcano. As long as you have 100 kilograms of steam in every tile, you'll be fine. So we're still heating up our water. But this is actually too much water in here. So we might get to a point where the steam is cracking the tiles. Might. I don't know if it's sure or not because I haven't done the math on how much water's in there. I just know there's more than what we wanted. What happened here? Overloaded? What? Oh, these are supposed to be on a separate line. I forgot. We took off the transformer for that. Hold on. We do need 2 transformers right here. Alright, that can be done later. We don't have to worry about that. They did double insulate this now, so we should be not bursting pipes in this area. I still don't know how we got water in here. I don't think the pipes in here get hot enough to burst. I don't think it's 90 degrees in there yet. We are still moving around petroleum. We are somehow up to 2 tiles already, and that is because our aqua tuners are not moving this petroleum fast enough. How are we doing on the ethanol? Only 240 kilograms left to move, and we can take that off. Everything else should be running fine. We should be getting closer to having enough power. We still have 0 joules in our batteries. Still haven't fixed this yet. We're going to do that in the next episode. But what we're going to do is we're going to call it quits here for today. We're going to come back in the next stream and do a little bit more cleanup. Right, tame all of our volcanoes that we were trying to use to make our entire asteroid a sauna. We still have yet to finish off our polluted oxygen. So we should probably do that in the next one. What's on our to-do list? Upgrade the power lines. We're still doing that over time. That we're just waiting for cobalt, so that's going to be something that takes a while. This should be fully upgraded to that intersection. And then we should only need 1 really long power line going from the water guys that we just saw before the autosave. Right here. Going all the way up. And I'm just looking to see if anything new needs to be upgraded. Nope. So all we have is this power spine going vertical. Oh, we also have connecting in this geyser. Can we connect that in before we leave? We might be able to have enough cobalt to do that one. We have 2,000. That's definitely not enough to do all this. According to this, we need 6,300. Alright. But other than that, everything else is fully upgraded as far as I can tell. We did just upgrade the power line going over here on the outside. This we just built, so we know that's powered correctly. This water still isn't hot enough to flash into steam yet, but it did go up almost 20 degrees already. We have this transformer in. How is this transformer powered now? But the one right next to it isn't. I don't understand directional-wise how transformers get powered. But we wanted to disconnect that because this aqua tuner plus a gas pump is pretty much a whole power cord. And with all of these running at the same time later on, that's going to break all of the power cords. If we need to later on, I will break into all these things and fix the cords. If that broken damage thing annoys me enough. Liquid pump. Yeah, we already know about that. We're going to do that in the next episode. So. How close are... Oh, I just watched the ethanol break. We can take care of that. We can also get rid of the power on the way out and the pipes on the way out once they move enough. Alright, all the ethanol is out of that system. So if they come over here and do all this, we should have this one running on, getting that ethanol out of here. Is it waiting on something? I think it was just power. Why does it seem like it's water that's preventing it from going? No, it's power. It didn't have enough power to get over here. And that's because all of these are still running. I want those to stop. That would be this one. So if I have them not running, we leave this open. All the power should be going to our filters. Which are not currently doing anything. Oh, because our ethanol's backed up. So there's a piece of ethanol waiting in this pipe. That's a little frustrating because we're trying to clean up all the ethanol. But we can do the rest of this. This is just doing filtration in a crazy way. Water in the pipes are overheating. I don't know, because we checked this area and it isn't hot enough. It's 92 degrees. It's getting hot. Even the oil isn't hot enough to flash them into steam. But I guess it did at one point. Maybe we used too hot of water going in, something, I don't know. Maybe this volcano heated up the insulated tiles. Yeah, they did. That's what happened. We used to have the volcano just erupting and producing heat into the atmosphere, so I'm guessing it overcooked the insulated tiles and probably the pipe going in at one point. Okay. Ethanol right here. I'm going to clean out that ethanol first. Looks like all the ethanol that was up here is taken care of. And the more that we mop up and bottle into our infinite liquid storage, the less there is of a chance of it being out here. Alright, we're going to zoom out. We're going to take our screenshot. I want it right here. We're going to save the game and go into our raid out scene. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to catch me live, I stream on Twitch on Wednesdays and Fridays from 10 AM EST to 12:30 PM EST, and on Sundays from 10 AM EST to 2 PM EST.